3 years old. Gardy, his name was Gardy. They kidnapped him from the church where Gesno was the pastor. They took him, this little boy, and they trafficked him. And this happens all the time in Haiti. I remember reading the story, and there was a picture of Gesno, and my heart just melted as a father, just melted for him. And I thought, I have enough experience to know very little is being done to find this little boy.
Well, he was 3 when they took him, now he's 10. When that first happened, I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't even get into my house and sleep, because as a father, my job is, getting my son back. I spent months before I could even get into a house and sleep inside. One of the suspects, I know him, Usually, I don't know for everywhere, but in Haiti, people who kidnap others, they don't do that randomly. They know their victims, Even when the legal authorities say there's nothing they can do about it. One of the time I talked to them, they asked me to bring them a solid lead, and they will come and destroy whatever to get him back to me. But I have to get the lead. This one, and I have no means for doing that. So, sometimes when people are in holidays, and I took my vehicle and going into the mountain, trying to, in a public open market, trying to see if my boy might come there, in a very long trip.
Man, what's your drink like?
I feel that it is my duty, it is my responsibility to get him back. Yeah. And I will not let go.
We got to Haiti and we worked with law enforcement, and we went in there looking for Gardy, and we never found him. What we did find was 2 things. We found that this child was trafficked through what looked to be like an orphanage. It wasn't an orphanage. And we were asked by the Haitian police to go undercover with hidden cameras and go into this place that was selling children. They were selling children for $10,000, and then they raised the price to $15,000. The traffickers were selling kids, and we were able to dismantle that organization. And we had to buy 2 children in the process. We had to buy 2 children, and they were the key to getting the other kids out.
You want this? Be careful with this, okay?
Okay.
After we got those kids out, and his son was not there, and I said, Gaston, I'm so sorry. Your son's not there. He's not. There was 28 children that were rescued, but his son was not there. I started to cry, and Gesno was crying, but he only cried for a little bit, and then he popped his head up, and he said, don't you realize what just happened? And I said, what? Yeah, what just happened? And he's smiling now, and I don't know why he's smiling, because he's a very smiley guy, and he has a light about him, and I learned what that light was, because he said, if Gardy had never been kidnapped, then your team never would have come here. And these 28 kids would be for sale or be sold. And I said, yeah, I guess I never thought of it that way. And then he said, maybe the most profound thing that anyone's ever said to me. He said, if I have to sacrifice my son so that these 28 kids can be rescued, he said, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And that's when I knew that we would never leave Haiti, because of the spirit of that Haitian man, who then, by the way, went to the police station the next day and he said, I will take home any of those children that were rescued in the name of my son. I will take them home. And he took 8 of those children home that day. And he is their father today in Haiti. And so you see, we could never leave Haiti after that. We decided we had to do more operations. We had to dig deeper, look for Gardy, dig deeper. The more we go looking for Gardy, a funny thing happens. Every time we look for him, we find other kids. I mean, Gardy is the kid whose story created Operation Underground Railroad, was kidnapped in the wake of the earthquake. Her parents were killed in the earthquake, like so many parents were, and she was left an orphan instantly. And this nice woman comes up, tells her that she'll take care of her and to come with her. This was happening all over in the wake of the earthquake. In the case of Rosie, I mean, she was 6, 7 years old, gets a hold of her, promises to take care of her, and instead puts her into a life of sex slavery. And this was so crazy. She said, it's amazing that you guys came and rescued me on January 12th. She said it was January 12th, 8 years ago, when the earthquake struck. Hey! Hey, buddy. Hey, how are you? This little girl was in the most obscure country in the world. Not only that, she was in the most obscure, darkest corner of that most obscure country, just wallowing in hell, far from anyone who possibly could care. You're so big. A photo? Where? It took her 24 hours after the rescue to even talk, because she said she couldn't believe that anyone would come for her. Santa Claus? Who's that?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus? He came? It's what we are trying to do. Santa Claus came here? We intentionally go to the darkest corners of the earth where there is no hope and find these kids. And what that does, apart from liberating children, what that does is it provides hope for everybody now. You got so big. I mean, where there was no hope, there's hope everywhere. If we can continue to grow our operations and continue to get the support we need, there is hope everywhere for the first time. Okay, scoot over. We gotta have a talk. We gotta have a talk right here. Okay. What's your name? Hey.
You gotta talk to Mommy.
Hey, what's your name? What's your name? Wait, no, not yet. What's your name?
My name is
Colleen Jean.
Jean-Baptiste Cadet.
Colleen Jean-Baptiste.
Cadet Baya.
Yeah. What's your name, buddy?
Jean-Baptiste Baya.
We found that the traffickers were selling kids, and we were able to dismantle that organization. And we had to buy 2 children in the process. We had to buy 2 children. And they were the key to getting the other kids out. And we've told that story many times. But what's special about those two children is that I formed a special bond with them. And when we were driving from the orphanage to the Sting house, to the hotel, this little boy jumped up into my lap. And I'm supposed to be this, hard criminal. After the rescue was done, my wife and I couldn't stop thinking about them. Him and his sister. They were the two kids. And so we started to work towards adopting them. That was almost 4 years ago. And I just got the email today. The decree came out of Parquet, and their names are now Ballard. They're my children. If I lived in Haiti, I could take them home right now. So all we have to wait for now is passports and visas and that, and then they come home to Utah. Where's Cole and Colleen gonna sleep? We have one extra bedroom, right?
Yeah, but where's Daniel going to sleep?
He's gonna sleep with he's gonna bunk with the boys. With Luke.
There are days that I'm like, Tim and I are like, what? Why do we have all these kids? but it just, like you look at this little guy and he is so loved. And just by virtue of the fact that he was born in a family, and that automatically gives him access to this love that we don't even have to think about. It's just there. And there are so many children around the world that don't have that, and that could. There just shouldn't be this much excess with that many children in need.
I'll find him. It's something I don't want to talk about it because I know I will find him. I will find him. One day something will happen, I'll find him.